right, welcome to Gen X Rated Thursday edition. How we doing, guys?
Pretty good, pretty good. Looks like the sun's going to come out.
It's
So
been out, Billy.
it went back in.
Well, it tends to happen like that. Comes in, it comes out. But you're right. Nice to see it. It was even a little bit warmer today, which was a blessing. How's it in Ohio, Gene? Other than the 10 million birds that have bird flu.
They're having a
I'm
bad
not
day.
having chicken for dinner, so we're good. I'm good. I got my friend coming into town tomorrow. My childhood friend that is 2 days older than me that I grew up with.
Joe.
No, this is my prom date, Desiree.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
She lives in Michigan. She had some time off. I haven't seen her in a few years. We reconnected a few years ago, but so she's coming to visit real quick, and she's not bringing her dog, so that's good news because I thought she was, and I don't know why every single one of my friends always brings their dog with them because
I didn't know I was allowed to.
Because let me finish. You don't even know my new cat because my cat hates that shit, and no, I was just we had plans all set, and then yesterday she texted me about the 11th hour, and goes, hey, I can't find a dog sitter. Can I bring the dog? And then Melissa and I were just like, oh, fuck. Because our fucking cat, our new cat, just does not do well with any animals.
Sure.
Cat, dogs, anything. But anyway, she found a dog sitter at the 12th hour, I guess. So I'm good.
Great.
We're back, of course. I just have to clean, and I have to take the hair off of my ears with Nair, and I might shave my bald head. I don't know. I got shit to do. I got alcohol to drink and shit,
Busy
There you
guy.
go. Maybe she'll bring some specialty stuff from Michigan.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Perhaps. Maybe we'll talk about it Saturday. So
What's today's strain?
well, I don't know. Melissa, what's today's strain? My wife just went to the dispensary, so I'm not even sure. I'm just smoking whatever she throws my fucking way because it is the day 17 of the Trump administration. I don't know.
Oh my God.
That. And
how are we managing?
Australia is already fucking their PMs and shit are already or their MPs are already going, man, America's already a fascist state. Can't you see it? And they're just going list by list by list, and they ain't wrong. So I don't know.
They're not wrong.
Guys, hanging on.
I mean, this guy just can't help himself. He, whoever's doing his makeup, it's amazing.
Oh man.
Let me go for the Oompa Loompa look today.
More orange, please.
Yeah, it's not orange enough. I must be oranger. It makes me more powerful. Many people say.
Well, maybe this is a little bit more official orange.
Ooh, now I look like a hot guy. Ooh.
Hot guy.
Imagine any pale woman on the planet oranging themselves up like that and then being asked to be taken seriously as a politician. It's really, on its face, it's ridiculous. I still don't know how this motherfucker pulled it off. A New Yorker.
I think we do know. I think we're
Yankee. Yeah, I know, but I never expected the South to go for someone like fucking Trump. The South
Agreed.
Fucking Yankees. The South hates the fucking North.
I know, but
got over the Civil War, and somehow they went for this motherfucker. He has no.
He hates the same people they hate, and he believes in racism and rich people holding all the cards. So I mean,
he hates dogs. He also hates guns. He also hates pickup trucks. It's just shocking.
They're willing to overlook that, though.
Yeah, you're correct. That's what they're willing to do. They're willing to overlook that shit as long as he's willing to preach what they're fucking, swallowing up, I guess. So
yeah, but when those farm grants are gone and the price of eggs is through the roof, which it already is, maybe they're going to rethink that when there's nobody to work those fields anymore.
You make a very good point.
Rob's going to talk about USAID, I'm sure.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Of course,
ahead,
yeah.
Rob.
And it should.
These same people that you talk about, the fruits and vegetables and everything. I mean, the USAID spends yearly $2 billion on rice, wheat, peas, lentils from American farmers. So sorry, guys, find $2 billion of sales someplace else because apparently we aren't interested.
Yeah, I don't think Elon Musk is going to subsidize that.
No, not likely. And I'd also like to slide in, as long as we're talking about that there was a person that during the last administration, 2017 with Trump, Ivanka took $50 million from the USAID. She needed some recording equipment for an event that they were having at the White House. She promised $50 million to go to fighting getting women out of poverty. Nobody can find that 50 million.
It got
Elon,
her
if
out
you're
of poverty.
listening, let's find that money.
Yeah. Oh, I know what happened. It all got spent.
Yeah, I think people really care about it. But like Gene said, this is like light speed to get all this shit through, and maybe it's a great distraction. But now the NOAA has been cut 30% of their budget, 50% of their workforce, because nobody cares about the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. Why would you? It's weather. I can look out my window.
Oh yeah, we're going to nuke those hurricanes next time they dare and try and come ashore. We'll get them.
National Weather Service, you're on alert because that could certainly be next.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me? There was in 1900, there was a devastating hurricane that hit Galveston, Texas, destroyed it, wiped it off the map. Eric Larson wrote a very good book about it.
I saw that.
There was no National Weather Service then.
It's kind of why we have these things in place.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Just in case. I don't know.
It helps to get a heads up and know what's going on.
Kind
But
of like
apparently,
a socialist, Billy, but go ahead.
Dude, we're just idiocracy is becoming more like a documentary every day.
Well, and agreed, but there's certainly purpose to this. I mean, we had the new FBI or the new what is she even? Attorney General Bondi. I mean, her first course of action was to get rid of the FBI Foreign Influence Task Force. We're not really interested in that, right? Who had the most interest in foreign countries trying to manipulate elections? Maybe somebody we know? I don't know.
Gee, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Seems like a fucking softball, but we don't really care about that. The Foreign Agent Registration Act, gone. So Mike Flynn doesn't have to worry about not reporting that he worked for a foreign company or a foreign nation, right? I mean, this stuff seems like common sense, which is what they keep saying, that blonde chick, Courtney or whatever her name is at the White House.
KKK Courtney.
What's her name?
I call her KKK Courtney because it's Courtney with a K, and yeah.
You talking about that Britney Spears looking motherfucker that has daddy issues and lays beneath her grandpa?
Okay. Perhaps I am. I just wanted to bring up something that's very, again, Uncle Bill always comes back to the cruelty of everything, and I find that to be the case. Yesterday, Trump went on to sign a bill that's going to keep transgender people out of women's sports. And it was such a big deal to him that he had to have a giant signing. I better put this up first. The most supportive person of this, obviously, is this guy. Perhaps you know her.
Oh,
Nancy
yeah.
Mace. She was in Congress yelling tranny, 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 which goes to the point of our government. The old gentleman with the white hair, somebody's saying, hey, that's offensive. We don't use that decorum here. He's like, I don't know. I'd have to research. I don't even know pronouns. Is that a good thing? Tranny, tranny, tranny. I better do a little deeper dive. And it's like, why are you in our government if you don't know what the fuck's going on? Like,
I don't know about these computers or these fancy phones. I don't know about that. I mean, Jesus. And dude, somewhere along the line, somebody must have called her a trans person, and it just deeply broke her. Because
so here's the signing yesterday of Trump. Maybe the one girl is brown. I can't really tell, but they wondered if they kept all the brown kids at home because that whole scene was white. He thought this was the greatest thing. He was going to give pens to everybody. And I just want to give some statistics about
who wants to sit on my lap. Not you. You're too old.
Well, he is a felon. I'm not sure. But some of the statistics. Now, Utah did a thing where they tried to ban trans people from high school sports. They had 510,000 high school athletes. The number of people that they wanted to keep out was 8. They had 8 people that participated out of 510,000 high school athletes, and they had a fucking problem with that. The Trump thing was even worse because we talked about this before, Gene, how many trans collegiate athletes were participating in women's sports.
Not very many.
That's absolutely correct. And I think it was less than 10 was the people that participated, and only one of them was transitioning and played women's sports. So I guess the guys weren't complaining if it was a female to male type of thing because they were still winning. So much winning.
So much winning.
Just
so to me,
giant distraction from our class war, obviously.
Exactly.
Absolutely
Anything to distract, divide attention, distract, get people at each other's throats.
I mean, again, Caitlyn Jenner is a member of Mar-a-Lago. I mean, what else do you want me to say? Use your own fucking eyes and see that they don't care if someone is transitioned. They just give a fuck about distracting you so they can steal all your wealth with Elon Musk's little unelected fucking minions. And again, if there's ever a list to volunteer for the firing squad because these motherfuckers are committing treason, we'll find out, because we are going to win this. Nazis always forget, and the people that from the South always forget. You motherfuckers always lose eventually. You always lose. How much damage will you do before you wake the fuck up? I saw yesterday, I'm leaving MAGA was trending on Twitter. Even though I don't interact with Twitter, I will still sometimes doom scroll. And apparently Black Twitter caught notice of I am leaving Twitter hashtag, and they were like, we don't give a fuck. You fucked around. You found out. You're not invited to the fucking barbecue. Go fuck yourselves. So there's still a lot of people that are pretty raw about this shit. But,
how could you not be?
But the good news is, other than our elected officials, Democrats that being, we are waking the fuck up as people, which is far more important than our fucking elected officials. We can make them do what we want to fucking do. Chuck Schumer. And oh, by the way, Chuck Schumer, stop standing at press conferences and going, we will win. With your fucking glasses down here, you're fucking 90 fucking years old, dude. Knock it off, dude. That's not gonna get any young people going. It doesn't work for me. I like the Maxwell Frosts from Florida. I like the AOCs. I mean, I'm down on Democrats. I am selling Democrats right now. But if anybody's gonna fucking open their mouth, it should be the young ones. And all you old motherfuckers, especially boomers, shut your fucking mouths. You are not helping recruit the young people that are going to take over this country someday.
Well, and I did see an interesting stat that 42% of Gen Z men don't give a shit about the Constitution. They think Trump can wipe his ass all over it. It really doesn't. There's no respect for that document, which is
why?
That is really
disturbing. Let's play schoolyard psychologist and figure out why. Why?
I think it's you're looking at Gen Z. So how old are we talking? How old are these kids? People.
The oldest one is 27-ish.
Okay. So you've dealt with this orange turd for a decade plus. These are when you're hearing this kind of stuff. This is the stuff.
And COVID and white kids, white Gen Zers have been hearing a lot of, hey, boys, hey, white men, shut the fuck up and let us talk for once because we've had 400 years of this shit. Not quite because they haven't learned civics, not quite understanding why they're getting attacked.
Yeah.
We're kind of broadly going, white guys, if there's DEI for anybody, it's been you guys. Pete Hegseth is a fucking drunk.
Oh, my God.
The weekend host on Fox. Even Stephen A. Smith knows that motherfucker's not qualified. I
saw that. That was good.
On Hannity's show. So, yeah, dude, I can understand why Gen Z men understand they're being attacked, not knowing the history of all the bullshit white guys have put women through, blacks through, Italians through for a bit, the Irish. I mean, Jewish people. Just fucking name a group. And these wasps have run us through the fucking ringer. And maybe Gen Z just doesn't quite understand that yet. But does it go deeper than that? Does it go to the fact that we don't fucking socially interact anymore? We all sit on our cell phones. They're all a bunch of fucking incels that don't know how to talk to girls. I mean, I'm at that age. I'm getting rejected at fucking bars left and right from 19 until I meet my fucking wife. I mean, I get 100,000 no's. It doesn't turn me into a psycho. It just makes me fucking improve my game. These guys are getting ignored. They're not getting swiped on, and they're building up fucking rage like a fucking sea otter who will kill something, rape it for 17 days, and then let its body go. So I'm just saying, dude, they're rabid sea otters right now. They're very fucking angry. How do you fucking make them less angry? What can you promise them so they're not the generation that ends up being the brown shirts that carry out all this shit because they're young and viable and have the ability to do it.
Dude, they're well on their way. But here's the
we talked
thing.
about Reagan and taking away public education to dumb down people and take away critical thought. Same idea. We stopped teaching constitutional, civics, as you say, but any kind of constitutional law or anything about our American history has been so changed since Gen X that it's just different. I get why they may not respect it because maybe they're not hearing it in their house. Maybe these same white kids are hearing the same thing from their parents that are repeating shit that they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they may, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it's a societal issue as to why they're not better educated and don't understand how fortunate we've been over these 250 years. Most of us, I guess.
It's true. And what was given up, what was, the blood that was spilled to protect those rights, to save those rights. And not just in overseas wars, World War II, but right here at home, the civil rights, the effort it took to pass the Civil Rights Act. People died. People got, they got the shit knocked out of them walking across that bridge. Absolutely. They knew what was waiting for them. They knew exactly what was going to happen. And they went. They marched arm in arm and got the shit kicked out of them. I mean,
black and white.
Yeah. John Lewis almost died. People don't realize that, how hard that struggle was. Go back a bit further. They don't realize how hard the struggle was to get unionized, to get an 8-hour workday, to make it so your little ass could go to school instead of going off to work in the meatpacking plant. I mean, these were very real struggles. These were life and death struggles. People fucking paid the cost.
Yeah.
And now they don't know. They're ignorant, and their parents don't teach it to them. Look, dude, I can remember one of the most chilling things I'd heard in a long time was standing outside Cole's locker room after a tournament game in 2016, waiting for Cole to come out. I think I had taken him to the game. I think you guys were out of town. I think it was the game where he broke his hand playing against that team from Vegas. And I'm standing there waiting, looking at my phone, and all of a sudden I hear coming from the locker room, Trump, 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 Trump. What the fuck is wrong with these kids? And these kids were what, 16, 15? So they couldn't vote, but where the fuck do you think they're hearing that stuff? I mean, the shit that he was spewing, it applies to, adolescent guys because, he's talking shit. They think he's funny. But I guarantee you, and knowing some of the parents, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm just saying they probably heard a lot of that shit at home too.
For sure.
And it was
bro,
chilling.
The parents are getting laid. These kids want to go on a date with a girl, yelling Trump, Trump, Trump ain't it. That's
Mom's getting laid.
Maybe
I don't know about dad.
That's well, dad's paying for it.
I saw some of those dads.
Just to watch.
Dad's at the rub shack. Fucking, you know what dads do. I know an orthopedic surgeon that got busted at a fucking rub shack. He actually, never mind. That's another story. Anyway,
a football owner that got busted at a rub shack.
Yeah, so do I. Anyway, that being said, it's a big problem for young Gen Zers, but we're not going to be able to solve the problem by offering them Chuck Schumer or. I'm just saying, dude, it's just not gonna fucking work. We got to do better. I mean, I know there's an uptick because people are scared because I don't think they even expected 17 days this guy would be doing crazy shit like putting Elon Musk's foreign little fucking minion HB1 visa workers into the Treasury. Fucking
well, they're in the health department now too. They're in the health department. There was a judge that put an order in that they cannot have access to that. I mean, once they have your health records. Now we're going back to Nazi Germany where well, this guy's IQ is not all that. He's expendable. This guy has a fucking limp. Get rid of him. This guy's got trigger finger. He's no good.
And believe me, American black men have already experienced having experiments done on them, as have other people like soldiers when they blew up fucking atomic weapons within radiation distance of them to test their radiation levels. So we've all been fucking guinea pigs to some point, and that shit was supposed to end. That's why we have regulation. That's why we have 3 branches of government. We ceded fucking 2 of those branches to this dumbass orange pussy grabber. I'm not sure fucking why. He's an idiot. He's bought and paid for by Russia. Tulsi Gabbard paid for by Russia, allegedly.
Dude, she allegedly grew up in a cult.
No, she grew up in a weird ass sex cult.
It was a cult
about that. She grew up on a fucking cult. That's defined as a cult. It's on some database as a cult for sure. And Jenny Thomas was in a fucking cult before she married goddamn what's his name?
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas, yes.
So it's getting kooky. What do you call it? The worst people running the country? Kleptocracy? Is that what it's called?
Kleptocracy.
When the morons are running the country?
What is it?
Cacistocracy? So,
cacistocracy.
There's too many stocracies. It's
well, and it's weird because he's digging in places like the Treasury, and he's shutting down some of the health areas. Obviously, the information they don't want out. But Gene sent me some numbers yesterday about some savings. So without getting into the weird stuff and firing people and freezing departments and asking 100,000 government officials to leave, basically, will you get paid? We'll see.
Most likely not.
Universal health care. If we had it, you'd be saving $650 billion a year. Gun safety, $357 billion a year would be saved. We fund the IRS and you save $124 billion. And that's not even scratching at the billionaire shit. They don't have to worry because nobody's coming for them, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you were to end direct and indirect fossil fuel subsidies, another $650 billion.
Holy shit.
These are all B's, no M's, all B's. And these are giant savings that you could take care of realistically without getting into people's personal data, firing people, finding out who's expendable, and basically saying, you're not in our class, which none of us are. Okay. None of us are reaching that class. It's just not going to happen.
That's a shitload of ketamine, Elon.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, we don't need Doge. We just need you to get the fuck out of the way and have government run the way a democratic.
How it has. An interesting comment I heard from several Republicans is that they're not afraid of getting voted out. That's not why they're lockstep with the orange guy. They're afraid of their safety. And to me, that's chilling.
What?
Yeah, they're worried that they'll get make the list and be hurt by red hats.
Fuck that, man. Just be an adult. Grow up. Be, just Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah, I was pretty shocked by that.
Well,
anyway,
all I can say is, you know what? Liberals have guns too.
That's
and
true.
You push people far enough, who the fuck knows?
And before we move on, bird flu is continuing to expand. That's not going away, even though you're not going to see it through the CDC or any of the HHS, Health and Human Services, with their new leader. That's not going to be a thing. But I did want to jump. We have this big thing coming up this weekend, this big game. But before we talk about the big game, what I did want to talk about was in the end zones. I'm sure we've seen this before. It takes all of us. You generally see it on both teams. End zones. Oh, maybe this is more familiar. End racism. Seems like a simple thing to put in the end zone. It has a great message. I think it started in 2020. They started using it. Really didn't have an issue until Trump's attending a Super Bowl, and now it becomes an issue. Spokesman for the NFL said, Brian McCarthy, I guess, that they chose to change the message because there were so many recent tragedies between the wildfires and the Potomac plane crash. So we thought we would change it to the new message, which is choose love. Choose love.
Hey, Bill, I got a question for you on that.
Uh-huh.
These idiots one guy didn't come up with this. These idiots literally paid some advertising agency or some shit, right? They knew Trump was coming to the game, right? And they were like, let's pay somebody $1 million to figure out how we get rid of end racism, make up and then pay some PR company $500,000 to give us a reason why we got rid of the end racism, all because an orange pussy grabbing fucking sex felon is coming to watch the game, and he'll be fucking triggered if he fucking that shit. I mean,
it's ridiculous. And here's the thing, dude. He's going to be even more triggered when he finds out Taylor Swift has a better seat than he does. Got a bigger box, better food.
Hey, leave her box out of this, Billy. It's
I'm just saying, come on now.
See, by the way, and I'm not paying too much attention to this shit, but apparently, journalism school must be dead too, because all these fucking journalists asking questions to all these stars at media day. Half the questions were dumb as shit, dude. I mean,
Oh
people
my
ask
God.
Travis Kelce questions about Taylor Swift, dude. That's taboo. That's a fucking no-no. He's playing in a fucking Super Bowl. You don't bring up his fucking girlfriend and just trying to compare what's better, catching a touchdown for a Super Bowl win, or comparing something to what Taylor. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
what happened to fuck journalism? Is
I got to say though, that has traditionally been Media Day has traditionally been just a festival of idiocy. I mean,
where
most
was
of those
I
people.
on Media Day? Did you guys see where I was in Miami? I was
busy chasing Kenny B around South Beach.
I was half up the fucking stadium on my fucking cell phone, on my matrix cell phone, just talking to friends while these fucking fools were just doing their things. I didn't get a booth that day because Reeves, I wasn't a Pro Bowler. And I didn't want to fucking deal with those motherfuckers. I just went up there and someone took a picture of me and printed it in the USA Today or some shit. But yeah, I
remember that picture
because they are clown shows, but dude, they're getting worse. The questions they're asking.
Well, yeah, but one year somebody asked one of the players, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
Oak.
What is that?
Mighty.
It's just stupid. I mean, most of these people aren't real journalists.
I'd be a coconut tree. They're bendy in hurricanes and don't break. What the fuck?
And you can eat yourself if you get thirsty.
Hey, don't bring that up. I don't want to talk about that.
Just saying. But yeah, so I mean that's traditionally just a bit of an idiot fest, and
okay.
Well, listen, I'm going to agree with Gene on this. I do feel
but you do have a valid point. I mean, the state of journalism, people are afraid to lose their access now. I mean, look at the people that are coming into the White House press conferences now and being called on.
Yeah.
They're pulling press passes from legitimate news outlets and journalists and bringing in bloggers and.
Okay, let's just stop there. Who's hiring these journalists? Who's conveying the news? It's coming from the top. Of course, you can't report anything that's going to be a problem for those that are paying you. And that's where we've gone off the fucking bean completely. We've talked about this before. We had the local paper here, which was the Riverfront Times, and they did investigative reporting. And they're gone. They got bought by some fucking guy, and they're no more. And that was a great source because
you're talking about Missouri, right? Not Pittsburgh. In Missouri, you guys have
Missouri, yeah. St. Louis, Riverfront Times. It was here before I got here. It's been here a while.
Oh yeah, there was one in Atlanta called Creative Loafing. I don't know if that's still around.
Loafing. We have Cleveland Scene here, right, Melissa? Is that still a magazine, or is that just online now? But yeah, we still have one.
Listen, they will have journalists that will look into things that are, dark areas that need to be covered. We don't have that. When I open up the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, which was a Pulitzer Award-winning paper at one time, it's $3, and all I'm getting is shit off the AP. Very little local stuff. If it is local, it's from the gun blotter because we want to scare fucking people. There's no originality here. So why are you going to go out and be a journalist? University of Missouri had an amazing, and they may still have a pretty good journalism program, but who's going into it? What do you get for it except pantsed and kicked in the back?
Well, it takes a certain type of person to do that job, especially now. But there are a lot of really good independent journalists, independent sources.
And we need to
Ken Klippenstein, Tom Hartman.
Tom Hartman, Mehdi Hassan.
Yeah,
I like the Lever. I like Sirota.
David Korn, Mother Jones.
I like
they're out there.
Brandon People from
they're
the
out
Nation.
there.
Ellie Mistal from the Nation. Yeah, they're out there. You can find your information, and it's legit information backed up with facts and history, civics, and all that noise. But us reading it isn't going to fucking do any good. We already know this shit. So
correct, but we are trying to at least enlighten you to do your own research. And if you have questions, please comment. We're happy to supply.
We're happy to put that in the show notes. Some really good sources.
I said avoid people like Andrea Mitchell and mainstream media. If you want to fucking just avoid.
Nothing's feeling my happy ending with Andrea Mitchell signing off for the last time on Friday.
You didn't have to give that away.
You know what? It's topical. She's out. Thank God.
Bye.
So just to kind of clean this up a little bit, this it takes all of us. We'll
That's
still be in
just
the
the
end
logo
zone.
to the officiating crew. Hey, it takes all of us to make that right call at the right time, buddy. Be a team player.
So true.
It takes all of us to ignore that right tackle lining up in the backfield every single pass play.
It's insane. But I did want to tie that point to the choose love, that on the same day that the NFL announced that, and I found that to be a bit of a gut punch to myself. I don't know why you have to change the message because one guy's coming who doesn't even know football. He thought Tommy Tuberville was coaching Mahomes and made a big stink about it just to show how ignorant he is about any kind of sports. If you've ever seen Trump play tennis or volleyball, he should maybe lighten up on some people.
The USFL no longer exists because of Trump. He doesn't know a fucking thing about sports.
He destroyed that league.
Yeah.
And he thought he was going to buy his way into the Buffalo Bills, and Pete Rozelle was like,
hell no, you'll destroy the NFL.
Well, and I only want to finish on that by saying the choosing love, and it takes all of us. That includes all of us. You don't get to now separate people and start yelling tranny, tranny, tranny in the Congress, and then Trump trying to ban people and saying we only have two sexes. We can have a discussion about that without going right to we're banning you. We don't accept you. Why can't we look into digging into
Rob,
how this is occurring and why?
This is where it's mainstream media's fucking literal job to call up Caitlyn fucking Jenner and go, Trump doesn't think you are a human being. How would you classify yourself since you can't be categorized as a male or female anymore? And you certainly can't be categorized as a male. You don't have a dick anymore. I'm not to be crass, but you've made yourself a woman. Yeah. I accept it. Trump doesn't. How do you feel about it? He calls you Bruce. I mean, seriously, you go straight to the fucking source because these people are full of shit, distracting us with stupid shit. Six athletes trying to fucking play fucking college sports, and Rome is burning. So it's all fucking giant fucking distraction. His fucking makeup's a fucking distraction.
Yeah,
a fucking big giant distraction.
That's what fuels this, though, right? Because if these people just settled down and actually went about the business of governing, right, doing their jobs instead of calling people tranny, 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 and all of this bomb throwing they do, people would lose attention. It's like they're constantly having to fan attention and outrage to keep it going.
It's worse than that. Boebert and Mace ran into the bathroom looking for that trans congresswoman that just got sworn in because they thought she was in there and they were gonna fucking make a big stink and film shit. They were mistaken. She wasn't in there. She has her own private fucking bathroom. They
all have their own fucking bathroom.
So, but they tried to make it. I mean, they're congresswomen. First of all,
who's electing these idiots?
Man, we want women to get elected to office. Running into a fucking women's bathroom in this misogynistic ass world, you look like a fucking idiot. You don't look like an idiot.
Sound
you
look
like you're in fucking Mean Girls 2.0. It's fucking dumb. So if you want us to take you seriously, be serious. Otherwise, don't take these motherfuckers serious. And it is a non-serious person. I don't even know what the fuck that is. She doesn't even look fucking female. She looks like fucking Skeletor's daughter.
It's all that rot leaching out from, her inside.
She's a vile human being that has nothing to offer. She's dumb.
And she's just a dummy.
Like legitimate dumb. So maybe we show her compassion because she's a fucking...
Yeah, but she's very mean. No. So I'm not giving her compassion when she's...
She was definitely a mean girl in high school.
All right. She dropped out of high school. What are you talking about?
I wonder why.
Yeah.
She got knocked up by a fucking older age dude. That's why. Who was arrested for whipping his dick out. This isn't alleged. 2 fucking underage girls at a goddamn bowling alley.
At a bowling alley, for fuck's sake. It's not even safe to go to a bowling alley anymore.
They're just MAGA party, folks. But I'm the one who's fucking a heathen and going to hell. Whatever.
Yeah.
Dude. I didn't whip my dick out at a fucking bowling alley.
More
sex did. So I'm just saying.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Word.
Anyway.
Well, that was a rough crew. I do want to put up this in closing because I feel like he's kind of spineless. I think he gives less than 2 shits about anybody. And the end racism thing would have been an easy thing to not fuck with. Now, you want to see every player on those sidelines taking a knee for the anthem? I'm just not sure how you
Would
push
love to
these
see
guys.
it. But this guy he's the very definition of spineless. His dad was a Republican senator from New York State who took a stand against the Vietnam War and ended up being voted out, but he was a principled man. He took a stand. He stood up for what he felt was the right thing.
Yeah.
And this guy learned the exact opposite. When he was an intern in the NFL offices, giant suck up, man. Sucked up to Paul Tagliabue. And Tagliabue said, even after he retired, he's like, yeah, he was, on top of me 24/7 until I couldn't do anything for him anymore. That's who Roger Goodell is. Roger Goodell is an empty suit. And it's a shame he went to school at Washington and Jefferson outside of Pittsburgh. And that's a shame.
It is a shame.
But yeah, there's no soul to that guy. He's just an empty suit. There's nothing there. And the funniest thing to me is every year in the draft, first of all, he gets booed. But then when he tries to do the awkward bro hug, like, bro, no. Just no.
Those are all hostage videos to me. I don't like the fact that you do that to a rookie and put them in that compromising position. You don't even give them a fucking choice. That's fucking twisted. But Roger Goodell literally could be Donald Trump. They have the same fucking mind virus. What did Roger Goodell do with the Colin Kaepernick thing? He's like, I don't know any black guy. Jay-Z's a black guy. I'll give him $20 billion to end racism in the NFL. Trump one time was fucking getting asked a question by a black reporter or a female reporter. I can't remember her name. And she brought up some celebrity, and he's like, oh, do you know him? Can you get him together with me? It's like, dude, they're the same dude. Trump and Goodell, they don't fucking know any black people. Of course, Goodell's number 2 in charge is my ex-teammate, Troy Vincent, who played at Miami, a great defensive back for Miami for years and years. But Troy's destiny was always to be in the union. He wanted to run the union. The union said no, went with some Washington, D.C. lawyer, which was a fucking mistake. They probably should have known with Troy. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, Troy's got to feed his kids, too. He went to the fucking other side. So he's a fucking villain now, too, which is a goddamn shame. Because in real life, the dude's not a villain, but he's got to play a fucking villain to get well paid. And that's why this shit's a class war. It ain't even fucking black and white anymore. No. When Trump's sitting there going, Patrick Mahomes, Brittany Mahomes, congratulations on your new baby. She has great genes. What the fuck is he even fucking talking about? What the fuck is he talking about genes and DNA and gene sequencing? And I mean, dude, this is fucking shit, dude. We're living in a fucking, I don't know, we're living in George Orwell, I guess.
It is. It's pretty strange. When you have a teenager whose nickname is Big Balls, working for Musk and also has ties to a Russian website. He's got the keys to our U.S. Treasury. There's a disconnect.
And did you guys freeze your credit reports?
No.
Have you done that yet?
Should I?
Yeah.
Should we? Why?
Because they've got all of our social security numbers now.
Right.
So if they if they try to open an account in your name using your social security number, it won't go, the credit report won't go through. It'll bounce back. So, because it's frozen, obviously. So
what if I need a fucking loan?
Well, you can unfreeze it when you need something, but you keep it closed to outsiders. Cause all of our information is out there now, thanks to these idiots.
You don't lose points by closing it off or anything?
No.
Okay. And by the way, credit reports are fucking racist things made up in the 80s to be racist bullshit. So they're unnecessary. One more thing that Nina Turner, the great Nina Turner, says has to go. Stupid shit like that. We are getting played, man. I mean, again, if you think about the IRS tax code being 4,000 pages long and 3,600 of those pages are just bullshit for billionaires.
Yeah.
We gotta knock this shit. It's not even sustainable. How many fucking years in a row do I have to say this shit's not even sustainable? We're fucking implode.
Well, we're finding out as we get closer. I mean, they said Republican senators said that the Senate is being slammed with 1,600 calls a minute among this fucking chaos. A minute. People are calling. I know Uncle Bill called. I know I fucking called. They don't necessarily answer, but you can leave a message.
The only one I actually got an actual person was from our representative, Wesley Bell, who is really a do-nothing.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, and the woman I spoke with was very nice, but she's like, do you want a confirmation email and do you want us to send you something? Yes, please. I never got anything.
Why would you, man? Speaking of which,
he's terrible.
24 of the 32 freshman congressmen, Democratic, spent all their time in the morning with AIPAC this morning instead of trying to save democracy.
Yeah, that's how Wesley Bell got elected. He had all that AIPAC money behind
is
him.
a foreign lobbying group that isn't a foreign lobbying group because JFK took a bullet before he could make him become a foreign lobbying group, and then
Sure.
LBJ
It's Israel, as we all know. AIPAC is
I don't
Israel.
care what foreign lobbying group fucking it is. If you're fucking lobbying on behalf of a foreign country, I don't want my freshman congressman in a fucking meeting with you. You got better shit to do. I don't give a
Absolutely.
fuck that it's Israel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Any foreign fucking country.
Well, and I don't want to cut you off here, but I do want to say
go ahead.
My USAID thing again, because I'm telling you, it's a fucking tipping point. The money that comes in there. I just want to say that Elon Musk was obviously he was closing it because they were starting to investigate him and his whole Starlink thing, and him shutting Starlink off for the Ukraine. Anything that gets close to him, he just disbands and gets rid of, and then calls it poison. I want to say that we do have a lot of people in this country that say, hey, America first, America first. Why are we doing all this foreign aid? What about us? Well, here's something. You have representatives of this country that could take care of the homeless. They could take care of the hungry. They could take care of the veterans. They're choosing not to. You voted for these people. You're asking me why not America first? Ask the people you voted for. They're not interested. But Kennedy was smart enough to have the tact to try and make us all as the same people on this planet that we're all floating around on. And to the point where Khrushchev, after his speech right before he was killed, wanted to meet with him and hammer some shit out because he understood, hey, yeah, I guess we are kind of all people. And I'm not saying it was a kumbaya moment and that Russia was our buddy, but at least he had enough sense to be like, hey, we're all on this planet. Let's see what we can do. And that's gone. So if you this is to keep democracy strong and to take care of countries that can't defend themselves, that support us, so that they don't turn into communist countries. That was the whole point of this. And now we've turned it into this thing where it's like, well, what about us? You're not interested in helping that guy, giving that guy a blanket who's on the street, who also served his country, but now he's disabled, maybe an alcoholic, and you don't care. To you, he's vermin, he's dirty, he's this, he's that. It's too much.
Yeah, you actively went out and voted for the people
billionaires.
You went out and voted for the people that want to get rid of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and school lunches for kids and any kind of safety net. You voted against that. Ooh. So when you ask, what about us? Their answer was a big fuck you. That's what about you.
Yeah, so don't be pissed at me who wants you to have these rights. Be pissed at your representative that you voted in. We're dealing with the same thing. Uncle Bill, you mentioned that on the 5th of every month at every state capital in America, people were rallying. Yes. Yesterday, Jess Piper, who I just subscribed to her Substacks, she's from rural Missouri. She's been an educator for 16 years. And she went into a lot of small towns in Missouri to get signatures for Prop 3, which allows a woman to have a choice over her own body and autonomy over her body. And she said, even in these towns of 2,000, people came out and supported. These were farmers. These are people that you don't lay eyes on because they live out in the boondocks. Yeah. She found them. They came to her. There was an 80-year-old man that came out as she was closing up the tent, and he wanted to sign on because it's right. You should have a right. You should have control over your own body.
Yeah, and rural America is getting screwed over by this guy and these policies.
No education, no Wi-Fi.
No healthcare, no Wi-Fi. Yeah, absolutely. They are getting screwed over. And, you know, I'm not saying they all voted for him, but a lot of them did.
A lot of them
did. Dems. That's the Democrats' fault. You fucking abandon the working class. They're gonna
they did a terrible job. I mean, I was reading something today about how Joe Biden could have stopped all this on his way out because, again, you had immunity. You could have done anything you wanted to. You did nothing.
Okay. To that point, the man's 80. He's just half out of his mind. And you know, how can he relate to what's going on around him? It's too much. Yet we want to find a third term for this fucking orange guy.
I agree, but Kamala could have gotten in his ear and said, look, buddy, here's what we need to do.
And you guys keep coming back to the Democrats, you know, fucked up. I totally agree. But this isn't a Republican Democrat thing anymore. Gene, you're fully registered as an independent. I am an independent. Am I registered as a Democrat still? Have I made that switch? No. But I'm not just giving my vote away.
Yeah, no, I will too. Yeah, absolutely.
No, we're not.
But at the same time, you fools that voted for Jill Stein and people in Michigan that voted because, oh, well, the Palestinians. Well, yeah, look what you're getting now. Do you think Kamala Harris was going to clear out Gaza and build a luxury resort? I don't think so.
The Palestinians for Trump changed their name yesterday to the Palestinians for Peace. So
I saw that.
If you're looking for that
late.
website, that's
you let the leopard in.
No, I'm just saying that's it's not funny, but it's funny that they.
It's mildly amusing.
Funny, not funny. Funny, not funny.
Yeah.
And again, don't ask Black Twitter to give a fuck about any of this shit right now because Black Twitter is just like everybody.
Well,
Dude,
Uncle Bill
guy, that's a MAGA. Fucking Palestinian guy, that's a MAGA. Don't do this. He's not trustworthy. You watched it for 4 fucking years, and they're like, no, fuck Joe Biden. And I get all that, but again, the VP has zero power. Was this about the VP who had zero power during the Biden administration? Powerless. You can only do this shit if you're president. And you didn't give her a chance to unfucking do any of this shit. So was it about that, or was it about her fucking being a Black Asian woman? I don't fucking know, but you guys all have to look yourselves in the mirror because I fucking voted for her, and I fucking I've hated Democrats the last 10 fucking years. I wasn't about to let this pussy grabbing idiot do another fucking 4 years. After listening to all that shit on mainstream media about how this guy's going to be Hitler in 2025, I was all in about fucking saving this fucking democracy. And you motherfuckers went out and fucking shit a giant goddamn fucking bird. So whatever happens to you motherfucking minorities that he fucks with, whatever happens to you fucking women that he fucks with, I saw a fucking teacher in the South. And again, the South takes all the fucking money and doesn't fucking pay any fucking taxes in. And she's sitting there going, I thought he was going to make America first again. This is a grade school teacher, a white chick, weighed about 4 bills, by the way, too much fucking biscuits and gravy. And I didn't know he was going to defund the Department of Education. Bitch, he told you he was going to fucking defund the Department of Education.
Dude, he already started it in the last term.
He couldn't vote for the Black Asian woman. Just say that shit because you're a fucking liar if it was about making America first again. That's bullshit. Look in a fucking mirror. That's all I'm saying. All you, I'm not a MAGA anymore, motherfuckers. Look in a fucking mirror and don't do this shit again and quit teaching your kids supremacy, motherfuckers. We're all in this shit together. Nobody's better than anybody else.
You're absolutely right. And if any message resonates, it is that one. None of us are in that club. And if we want our civil liberties and more importantly, our health care and decent paying jobs, we got to do it together. I talked to my 70-year-old neighbor today. He's ready to hit the streets.
That's good because my wife hit the streets a lot from the first Trump administration and 3 other fucking protests. She was in DC every year for 3-4 straight fucking years. It's time for everybody else to step up. I've seen some signs of that shit. Again, the Democratic Party is too fucking old. If you want fucking old heads like me fucking back in it, then you boomers fucking get the fuck out. I'm tired of seeing that Nancy Pelosi killing it in the stock market. I don't want to see that shit anymore. I want her fucking gone. I'm tired of this bullshit. We had it. But young people, you're doing it right. It's about you. Don't worry about who the fuck's in office now. Get your ass out on the street and force the motherfuckers that are in office to stop this madness.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, how long are we going to let these people grift us? Am I right? I mean,
day 17 and people are freaking the fuck out, including MAGAs. I mean, it's day 17. Day 17, bro.
Yeah. But again, that's what they do. They're going to fucking overwhelm us and get us so demoralized. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work because people are going to push back. This is not who we are. And there are more of us than there are of them.
No doubt about it.
And they're fucking weirdos. Tim Walz was fucking right. You blew that message.
He was right.
They're a bunch of fucking weirdos. These fucking weirdos that Elon brought into the treasury. Big Balls and Kushner Pujab and fucking all
Bucket
these
Hat.
Motherfuckers, like these little motherfuckers that aren't even from this fucking country. Or if they are, their parents fucking work. And I'm just gonna say that because sometimes you first generation motherfuckers piss me off too. Sorry, my fucking folks have been here a long, long time. The Dutch side were slave owners, and of course the other side were slaves. So I'm full fucking circle. I'm just saying, dude, I'm tired of these fucking weirdos and these first generation motherfuckers, which I personally, most of them are fucking wonderful, coming in here thinking they know America. Elon Musk grew up when we were fucking latchkey kids. People need to understand this guy is our age, he's Rob's age. He was in South Africa with fucking black servants. His dad killed 3 robbers and allegedly robbers, 3 black men out of 5 that he shot right in front of Elon. Elon doesn't want to talk about it because it probably wasn't a legitimate shooting. These motherfuckers are weird. Elon's a weird motherfucker. He's not from here. He's not thinking like a latchkey Gen X American kid. He's thinking like some weird South African motherfucker.
Yeah, who grew up in apartheid.
Be careful with that shit, dude. He doesn't think like us. He doesn't give a fuck. And now you're giving him so much money.
And power.
I mean, you're giving him enough money to fucking snort ketamine like once every second, every day for 2,000 fucking years. I don't know. How much is ketamine? Bill, how much is it? You would know. I'm just kidding.
Well, I think it's like you can subscribe to that thing where you can take it for anxiety. I think it's $89 a month.
Oh, is it in chocolate or some shit now, or how do they dose it?
Yeah, it comes in like a little. It's like in a little bar, and you break off a piece and you put it under your tongue, and it dissolves.
Can I do that online? I would love to do ketamine to be a nicer person and get through this next 4 years. And I mean, is there a way to shroom too? Can you online shroom or just ketamine?
That's a good question. I would be curious because I see the ads for like the mushroom coffee all the time, and like because you have to like mix it up, and it comes with like a mixer and everything. Yeah, I just want to make it. I don't want to do all this.
I got
Exactly.
But
I've never done ketamine, but I would definitely try microdosing some of these drugs that are actually wonderful drugs if prescribed and done the right way.
Maybe just go for the magic mushrooms. Huh? It's always good.
Psilocybins.
We know you're a fucking organic fucking pussy. Shut up. Damn fucking tree hugger. No, I'm just kidding. You're a good guy. Eat your fucking mushrooms. I want some ketamine, goddammit.
Fine, take your ketamine. I did want to note on the NFL, the point spread is still Chiefs favored by 1, but this is Virginia Hallis McCaskey. She passed today. She was 102.
I did not see that.
We're losing
she was the
a whole
matriarch.
generation of owners that really. I don't know if you ever saw it. Was it on HBO? They did that. The women owners. I don't know if you saw that program.
I didn't see it.
I don't think I saw that.
HBO, damn it! I don't have.
I think it was on HBO. It was pretty innovative though, and just it had Rooney's wife back in the day, and of course McCaskey was on there, and I don't know. They love the sport. They were ingrained at the beginning of this sport, and where we are today just seems a little off base. Now we're taking, end racism out of the end zones. It just doesn't seem to really fit with how the league started. Families like the Rooneys, and I'm not going to say the Rooneys. I'm going to say people like Art Rooney, those kind of leaders. It was different. Those players wanted to win badly for him. He took losing okay and always took care of his players. That was like his number one thing. Dan Rooney saw that as well. He hanging out with Ike Taylor. There's a couple famous photos of those two together. Those guys actually cared. Now we have 31 billionaire owners.
Go back to Pittsburgh and see your fucking former coach because he's still the fucking coach there. No other fucking league is like that. That's why it's so weird, like being a Browns alum or an Atlanta alum. They've cycled through fucking 20 coaches since I fucking retired. It's going back to a strange land. In Pittsburgh, these guys can fucking go back and literally see their coach. And before that, it was fucking the other guy who was there for a real long time. And before that, the other guy who was there for a long time.
Who has passed.
Well, I know you can't see Chuck anymore, but my point being is you could be retired for 10 years and go still see Chuck Noll on sidelines and be treated like family. It's a unique situation in Pittsburgh. I would never play for you fucking scumbag. But those that do, I understand why they love it. And
Well, and let's get away from the standards and standard and just more about how they treated people. And I don't think that they necessarily have that right now with Art Rooney II. I don't know.
No, I think he's totally out to lunch. There was a
how old is he?
He's in his 70s. I know he's older than me.
Okay, I didn't know. I was curious.
But there was I think I've talked about this book before. It's a book called About 3 Bricks Shy of a Load. A writer named Roy Blunt Jr. spent a season with the Steelers. And this was 1973. So he covered them all the way through training camp, all the way through the playoffs. And he had just unlimited access. He hung out with these guys. He was at practice. The only thing he wasn't allowed to be in on was like the coaches' meetings and the team meetings. But this guy was everywhere. He hung out with them. It's an amazing book. If you ever get a chance to read it, it's a look at a team that is just like
Put it in the show notes. 3 Bricks
one step away from becoming a dynasty, right? But he was talking about, there's a chapter on just the organization, and he's talking to a player named Tom Keating, who had come over from the Raiders, and this was his first year in Pittsburgh. He's like, this place is like, I've never been in an organization with so many happy people. He's like, I got here and I gave him a receipt for my cab ride. They paid me right away. He's like, in Oakland, that would have taken weeks to get. It would have been like pulling teeth. He's like, everybody here is happy. So yeah, they ran it like a family business. It was kind of like a more confident version of the Falcons when we were there, because that was like a family business too.
Yeah.
That's just different, And then I spent a year with the Rams, and it was so corporate. They would give an alert when the owner, Mrs. Frontier, was coming. She had her own private entrance in the back of the facility where she'd pull in, and they had this weird store that she had developed in the very upper part of the team facility. And they sold these outrageously expensive, weird trinkets and things that only wealthy people would buy. And I was up there one time, and it's just creepy. But that was her thing. But yeah, it's so different, man. This league it's so corporate, and it's just, Pittsburgh is definitely an outlier in a good way. Yeah. Or at least it used to be.
Yeah. And that was my point, because, Art the second is a billionaire. So he fits back into that culture of what we have now. But to see Dan Rooney walking around daily with those guys, caring for the players, it makes a big difference. And we just don't see that anymore. And It maybe starts in college. I don't know if we want to jump into this at this late of an hour, but I think we all know this guy, Brian Kelly at LSU.
With his fake Southern accent.
And recently, he picked up a Southern accent. But recently they talked about his relationship with this kid who was a stud for them, and he ended up getting hurt. And the thing that was so disturbing was Brian Kelly never reached out to him at all, and had nothing to say to him.
I believe that kid ended up with brain cancer, bro.
Mm-hmm. He did. He had brain cancer. And once he couldn't do shit for this coach, during the headlights, Brian, he couldn't do anything for him. Here's a full length of him. He is in a wheelchair. He speaks. All he wants is to be normal. Ooh. That's not going to happen. And the dad said, hey, you know what? All you had to do is reach out to him. Let him know that you care, period. Mm-hmm. Let him know you fucking care. And he couldn't do that.
Brian Kelly is the same piece of shit that was at Notre Dame. And this is when he came on my fucking radar. And fucking was having a practice, and it was too windy, and he had student fucking camera operators up on those fucking cranes.
Oh, shit.
And it was too windy for them to be up there, and the dude should have had some common sense, immediately call practice. He did not. He kept going until that fucking thing tipped over and killed one of those student cameramen.
Unbelievable.
That's who ridiculous. That fucking motherfucker is. That was when he came on my radar, and I was just like, no way, this is not a good human being. So him fucking not calling some kid that had brain cancer that used to ball for him is not shocking.
And by the name, his name is Greg Brooks Jr. is the kid that was with brain cancer.
Kelly is a piece of shit, dude. I don't want to find these. I don't know. He was one of those fucking suck ups like Goodell. He was probably one of those little goddamn interns years and years ago, sucking up to some fucking guy with his plot to fucking rule the college football world someday. And he still hasn't fucking done it, and he sucks at it. Notre Dame ended up at the fucking championship this year, and his team did not. And he's bitter. He's like we owe him something. He's one of those motherfuckers that you think he thinks we owe him something. And we don't owe you shit, you little fucking leprechaun. Fuck you.
Well, dude, he was the guy that, they won it when he was at Cincinnati, right? And he's like, I love it here. I'm not going anywhere. And the next thing you know, he's out the door to Notre Dame.
He's on a throne of lies. He's a fucking scumbag, dude.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of these college guys are.
That's the worst video I've ever seen. That's the cringiest fucking football video I've ever seen that you just pulled up right there. That thing is terrible.
It gets worse. How about this one, huh? Ooh.
Oh my god,
What's he doing? The Batusi?
I don't know. It's fucking
Hey,
cringe.
don't do that
Oh,
in the
man.
end zone, or you're going to get 15-yard penalty, Pickens.
It's cringe. And the only guy I
That
can
is
think
bad.
that I dislike more is fucking Urban Meyer that was involved in that game. He's a fucking dirtbag too from the Florida
Mhm.
he's on. They're just not good human beings.
No.
They're me people.
Yeah.
I can't even believe people play for him year after year. I guess they're going to the institution, but I wouldn't even fucking. You couldn't give me 2 scholarships to play for a fucking dude like that. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Well, and again, it comes to the culture. We don't necessarily give a shit unless you can do something for us. These athletes are getting paid now through the NIL, so we care even less. And it really is tearing apart the fabric of this nation that we all breathe the same air.
Meanwhile, Deion Sanders puts out goddamn insurance policies on all of his players to play him in the bowl game. And but you know, they've found ways, and I'm not saying Deion Sanders is perfect.
Sure, but it's a nice
the one
thought.
thing you know is he gives a shit about his players, not the ones he arrived with when he got there. And said, "Get the
Oh, he
fuck
cleared
out."
all those guys
But
out.
Not the one he pulled
ever
out.
since then, he gives a shit about his players.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, dude,
It
there's a
feels
story.
like-
There's a story about one kid who, when Prime called him in to tell him, he wasn't coming back, the kid was like, "Hey, all right, coach, great meeting you, appreciate it." Went to stick his hand out and shake it. Deion just turned his back on him. Like,
Oh no shit.
yeah, dude, who does that? Come on, you just
Well,
took away
arrogant
this kid's.
motherfuckers that line up for the 40-yard dash and go, "Let's line up in the order we're getting drafted. I'll be number 1." I mean, that's who the fuck he is, and I don't mind that if he starts winning. And yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. But I have a Deion story. When I was playing for the Browns before I got traded to you guys, and it might have been a preseason game, I might have gotten traded a couple weeks later after I walked out on Belichick at the Browns facility. And I remember Lester Archambault getting thrown by one of my old linemen into Steve Everett's legs, into his knees. And it looked really fucking bad. And the first person that was there jumping, going, "Get a trainer over here right now," and sticking it by the opponent was Deion. Like, he didn't have to give a shit, I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah.
But when he saw what he thought was a really fucking nasty injury. It turned out not to be a nasty injury. He was wearing knee braces. But when he thought it was really fucking bad, dude, that was the first guy, like, "Get someone out here fucking right now. Like, are you okay, Everett?" Like, and Everett was a fucking rookie, maybe. So I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
Dude said he was a good teammate. That there was Deion, and then there was like Prime back when he was playing.
Yeah, and he loved Whitey Zimmerman, who was the equipment manager who had the heart attack in Atlanta.
Mhm.
In fact, when Dallas came in and he made that "This is my house" and he did his little dance down the sideline on his pick six, he came into the Falcons locker room. He came to see the staff that appreciated him and knew that they should have kept him. He was Deion. He was that wasn't Prime that came into the locker room and
yeah, I mean, he's a flawed motherfucker, like lots of
like
people.
all of us.
Yeah. So,
But there was a dude that played for the Niners, I think Gary Plummer, a white linebacker.
Linebacker 50, yep.
Yeah, and he said when Deion signed and came over to them the year they won the Super Bowl, that he's like, "Oh man, this guy." But he said Deion couldn't have been nicer. He found out his kid liked baseball, and Deion came in one day in the locker room with the baseball glove that he signed. He's like, "Here, this is for your kid."
Nice.
He's got a heart. He's got, he has a little narcissism in him, but the dude clearly has a heart. He gives a
when
shit.
he's not peeing in Tim McCarver's bucket.
Tim McCarver kind of had it coming, though.
I
would
dude,
say that was.
I don't know, dude. Have you ever seen? Yeah, I don't know. But have you ever seen Tim McCarver cheat another player like that?
No.
But here's the thing, like, because I watched that documentary. It was about Deion playing baseball and football, and he took a lot of shit for that.
Yeah, he did.
More power to him, man. He was good at both sports, and he could do it, and he did. So, for Tim McCarver to give him a hard time about that, I thought was kind of lame.
There's some more Prime in his Falcons. He liked being a Falcon too, man. He wanted to stay, but they just kind of hammered him.
Oh, what a dumb decision that was. Pay the man, and he locks down half the field, and we could have won.
Yeah,
we scored a lot of points with that run and shoot with Jeff George and Terrence Mathis and Andre Rison, and couldn't stop anybody defensively. But
you know how weird it was to be at the Browns training camp in '95 with Andre Rison. We signed to a huge contract. I'm thinking
Baby Dre.
I'm gonna be blocking for Baby Dre. A few weeks later, I get traded to Atlanta, and then I'm eating lunch with you at Papado's, and I see Left Eye. And I just met her a few weeks before in the Browns parking lot. I was like, oh, man, this is a fucking weird life. But it's all good. I'm glad I came to Atlanta and met you two dickheads.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, my first day there in Atlanta, I am like, fresh off the boat in there. And it was right after, it was the first time the players were back. It was for like the pre-camp workouts. And it was right after, the whole incident where she burned his house down. And the PR staff, they sent me down. They're like, hey, go get Andre.
Right.
I'm like, holy shit. I didn't even know any of these guys at all. I was like, this was my very first day. And I had to go and corral him and try and get him to speak to some reporters. And he was cool about it. But so that part of my job that season was to like, hey, go get Dre. They've got a satellite hookup. ESPN wants him. And
did you think that was your name? Hey, go get Dre.
Pretty much was.
They started calling him.
Hey, get Dre. I don't know what's funny.
Okay. Yeah. And he was mainly cool about it. But dude, I had to hustle. I finally figured out, dude, if I go around the back door, I can head him out because I know he's going to go out that way now.
Hey, man, he had to hit a cigarette, a Marlboro, just like me, out the back door. I don't know. I have no idea if he fucking actually smokes. That being said, shit, Rob wants to do happy ending. Rob, you're not going to talk about any of the fucking players on the move today? I'm in mourning, man. My boy from Iowa State, George Niang. Yeah. The Cavs are winning again. They lost the Celtics a couple nights ago, but they're still the best record in the league.
Well, that's not such a happy ending.
We just lost George Niang today, and we lost Karis LeVert, and we're picking up a guy out of the Hawks. What's his name? DeAndre Hunter. And so I don't know what's going on, but we're making a run for the fucking playoffs and the championship. And I hope it's a good move because I'm going to miss George Niang. I literally was saying today I have to go buy a George Niang Cavs jersey. Now they're going to go on sale. So, bam. But good luck to him. He's going to the Hawks. Karis LeVert, also a great player and related to the LeVerts, believe it or not. The Cleveland, are they Cleveland or Cincinnati, the group? Or Columbus, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, I'm in a little bit of mourning, but now you can get to your fucking happy ending. Oh, but no, you guys got a quarterback on the move in Pittsburgh. You didn't mention it.
Well, Russ Wilson will not be back with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not sure that he's.
How do you guys feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that guy get worse week after week, and it was just like, it's time to go, dude. You are not
a happy ending for you, Bill.
That's kind of happy, yeah. It's yeah.
Kind of nice to see him go.
Right.
To that note, there's a good possibility Najee Harris will come back to Pittsburgh, but the Chicago Bears are pushing hard to get him. So maybe Caleb Williams can bring him in there. They have a good wide receiver core.
Yeah. Well, dude, he runs hard. He's a beast, but he did not fit that offense. That outside zone blocking scheme they ran did not work for him.
Is ayahuasca fucking what's his face gonna play next year? Rodgers?
That's a good question.
Rodgers. If somebody
he's not coming back to the Jets, right?
Oh, he's not.
No, he's not going back to the Jets. Aaron Glenn doesn't want
to fuck around with that shit.
No.
He wants to move on.
I don't know that anybody really wants that guy.
Because when you lose your locker room in a team sport like football, when you lose your locker room to a player,
done. You're finished.
People pick sides, and you end up not winning football games. I've seen it a million times.
Well, when you have a country and you lose it to 5 billionaires, you're kind of fucked.
Same difference.
Yeah, dude. Do you remember that book I was telling you about? It was a guy that spent a season with the Eagles.
No.
I remember I told you about it. It was about Anton Davis's really horrible night on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. What was that guy's name? And what was the name of the book?
It was called. His name was Charles Bowden, I think, or no, maybe that was his brother. His last name was Bowden, though, and he used to be a sports writer in Philly, and he went on. He wrote a lot of books.
Because he also wrote about Mike Shad, who was also a teammate of mine in Cleveland.
Bringing the Heat. That was the name of the book. Bringing the Heat.
Sure.
Excellent book. But so he was there for the last year of the Buddy Ryan era.
Sure.
And dude, that defense hated Randall Cunningham. They called him Randall.
Oh, really?
They did not like him because, he kind of like carried himself separate, apart. They thought he was a little bit effeminate. And so that's exactly what you're talking about, dude. When you lose a team like that,
Forget
Your
about
teammates
it.
don't believe in you. It just because that defense was good.
He must have been acting a bit of a diva too, I imagine.
A bit of a diva. They called him Randall. They used to ride him mercilessly, and they did not like him. But it was a very good defense.
All right. Well, if you don't
Andre
get the,
Waters,
don't
Seth
get the,
Joyner.
if you don't get the Rob's happy ending soon,
I'm gonna be upset.
he's gonna have an aneurysm. So
First
Bring it
happy
on.
ending.
Yeah.
Tesla sales in Germany are down 60%. Nobody wants any of that guy's shit.
Golf clap, golf clap, golf clap. Good. Fuck
Well
that.
done. Well
and I'm
done.
throwing another one in there too, because the second federal judge, he was appointed by Reagan, has also put in a nationwide, this is the second one, injunction against Trump and his stripping of birthright citizenship, which is in the Constitution. It's the 14th Amendment, people.
Yeah.
So come on now.
Yeah, these are the judges that have to draw the line on this.
That's right, and I think they will. This is too much. The corruption's too much. When we have billionaires telling us that we can't feed babies and starving kids, it's ridiculous.
It's
Well,
ridiculous.
remember his first term, we had this asshole separating fucking children from their families, and they're still not all reunited. Cruelty is the point with these motherfuckers. I'm not. I should get off that. Back to your happy ending. I apologize. That cruel son of a bitch made me think about his first term. Sorry about that.
Dude,
yeah, my bad on that one. Uncle Bill, you got one?
Yeah, I can't quite remember it though. But Gene, what did you say about the eggs that were stolen?
Oh, in Pennsylvania, 100,000 eggs just got stolen. A whole trailer of eggs got stolen, worth $40,000. So now we have fucking egg thieves out there. And we got fucking people making egg runs at Costco where they have to put limits on eggs, and it's just it's man, what this guy creates. He's whatever good in your dumbass minds you think he can do. There's too much chaos involved in him. It's just he's not worth it. That's the biggest thing. My biggest takeaway is that he's not worth it, man. He just creates fucking problems. Now we have egg problems. I mean, he flooded. He flooded the fucking Central Valley with water for firefighting purpose. He just opened a spigot. He had no idea where the fucking water was going. They couldn't use any of it for firefighting. The guy is he's so average. He's so beta. He's a
disaster.
I thought Americans were tough, man. I don't get it. But again, Gen Z, we help them snap out of it a little bit. We got to get more happy endings.
Well, and as Uncle Bill says about Gen X and the bullshit detector, I mean, this is a direct quote from the pussy grabber without using names. I really believe that you can't be happy without religion, without that belief. I really believe it. I don't see how you can. So let's bring religion back. And this was at the national prayer as he was saying, we're going to get rid of these fucking this, that, and the other. I mean, dude, you can't make this shit up.
We're going to bring religion back. I'm going to threaten this bishop who made a very Christian appeal for kindness and mercy. But yeah, we're bringing it back, baby.
Deported back to New Jersey. And lastly, the Catholic relief services have been gutted. So if you're a Catholic, I'm sorry, that's not apparently.
Well, Bill and I think Bill and I talked about this earlier in our pre-production music fest, because everybody doesn't know that we play rap music before we start this shit, because I control the music. Never touch a black man's dial, motherfuckers. Anyway, Bill and I were discussing briefly before we started that we were pretty fucking happy about all these people going to all these state houses all over the country and protesting, because again, we have some really old legislators and they are not up for it. It's got to be us, and a lot of those people were young and a lot of those people were Gen Z.
Yes.
So Gen Z is going to have to talk to Gen Z. Gen Z is probably not going to listen to us, and they're going to have to convince themselves that we're all in this shit together. Right now they're feeling a little left out and they're a little angry, and they're with this guy because they're mad. And when you're mad, you go with the maddest guy you can find. And we gotta help fix that, I think. And that we're starting. We're going to the state houses. Again, boomers, retire from all fucking political offices, please. Your kids are my age and I'm in my mid-50s. It's fucking outrageous and it's obnoxious.
It's time.
If we can do those two things, talk to the Gen Z and get these boomers the fuck out of office.
Not only talk to them, listen. You got to fucking listen. These kids are not stupid.
More important.
Yeah.
That's important.
And they
got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
And this is their world. We're going to be leaving it These boomers are going to hopefully be leaving it sooner, and the silver generation should to be gone. But
please
that
don't
point-
don't dismiss their concerns. They're valid concerns.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
let's
crazy.
get some engagement. We need it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I got to let you go. We'll be back Saturday if you're available, Gene.
Yeah, my friend will be in town, so just give me a time as soon as you know, so
I'll keep my potty mouth down, but I think we can probably do it anytime you can.
I know we can do it anytime you can. I'm kicking them. I'm having her and Melissa get the fuck out of the house. I can't.
All right, I'll give you a time.
I can't tell Melissa about all the shit I did on my prom date. You know?
Oh, geez.
Which was absolutely nothing. Again, we went as friends. Her boyfriend literally walked her out to my car for my prom date. So there was zero action. She had her chance. Fuck that shit. I'm a married woman now.
Man.
Married man.
Woman. I'm a married woman. I'm gonna have two women here. I'm changing my sex so I can fit in.
All right.
Hey, however you feel, man.
You be you.
C cup, C cup.
How's your back feeling?
I'm about to drink some fucking rosé. Pretty good. The motion's been doing pretty good. I haven't gotten to the gym at all, the flexural yet. I'm just trying to walk it off, and I don't know. I'm all right.
Keep me on that back. Keep yourself in motion. Body's in motion, stay in motion.
All right, I'll see you guys Saturday.
See you, fella.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.